Hello students, my name's Teresa van der Kraan and I will be your first year advisor for this trimester. So I thought I'd just make a quick little video, just firstly to introduce myself, but more importantly to answer some of the questions that I get regularly and which really require a video to properly show you how to do things, because it's not very easy just to describe over the phone or something. So what we're going to be looking at today is one of the things that's common to most disciplines and most referencing styles, and that's just how to insert a hanging indent into your reference list. So I'm just going to share my screen with you, and you can see this is a reference list that I've been working on. It is in traditional footnoting, which for those of you studying history should be familiar or getting familiar. But this, what I'm going to tell you, it also applies to APA and other other referencing systems, which you might be likely to use. So we're not looking at the actual formatting of the references themselves, the actual style, but we're just looking at the layout. And you may be using a different version of Word to the one I'm using, but there are a few workarounds which I will also show you. So what we're going to do is to insert the hanging indent, the easiest way is if we highlight the whole reference list like so. And the section we need to work with in our toolbar up here is with the paragraph tab, but we need to go into the advanced settings. So with this, we can click on this little arrow here in the corner of the paragraph section, and that will bring up the advanced settings. So you can see there that you can change the alignment and the indentation and so forth. But what we want to do here, instead of fiddling too much around with this, we can just go to special here, and then under the drop down bar, just go to hanging. And then we click OK to execute that. And then as you can see, that's making it a little bit easier on the eye. Now, for referencing styles like APA, you may need some additional requirements in the formatting of the reference list. Namely, APA discourages breaks between each reference list item. And also, we want some uniformity in the actual font that we're using, because as you can see, mine is still a mess of different fonts. So we'll highlight all this again. And let's first pretend that we're formatting this for an APA style. Now what we want here is to just eliminate that space maybe after each reference. So here you can control this. Mine currently has an 8 points after, and I find that's a little bit easier on the eye, but at a PhD level, we have a bit more freedom with that than you might. So we can put that to 0 point, and so that makes it a little bit more compact. You can also control the line spacing. I usually use 1.5 because it's a little bit easier on the eye, but you may be required to use a single or even a double space. So these are the main ones that you can be working with. So let's say if you need to use a single line space, that will compress the reference list even more. So finally, the issue here is obviously the different font settings, which we don't want that. It looks a bit messy. It needs to be a uniform font, which is usually Times New Roman for any academic assignment. So to do that, similar principle, we go into the font bar here and we click this little arrow to open the advanced options. So as you can see here, you can select from many different fonts. We're going to go simply Times New Roman. You can either scroll down or just type that in. And the standard size should be size 12. Now don't play around with this, your font style, because that's something that you will need to manually format as you're making your references, because obviously italics are an important part of certain bits of the reference list. So definitely don't touch this, but we're going to execute this in Times New Roman size 12, and that will that sort of unifies everything in the reference list. But as you can see, the italic portions still remain there. So always do double check your reference list to make sure that all the original formatting that you may have that is important remains. So we don't want to mess around with that. So now, just finally, if you are using a different version of Word and you can't see these markers that I've indicated to, an easy workaround is actually just to go up here into the search bar, and there should be a search bar for whatever version of Word you're using. And let's simply, if we're looking for the paragraph tab, let's type in paragraph. And here, of course, the first option that comes up is the paragraph setting. So if we simply click on this, the box will come up there. And I'm just going to pop mine back to a 1.5 spacing because I like it better. Oops, but I forgot to highlight everything, so make sure you do that, because otherwise that can mess up your formatting with the essay. And type in paragraph, paragraph settings, and 1.5. And there we have what is starting to look like a more professional reference list. So I hope some of this is helpful just to show you. Remember, we're not talking about the references themselves or how I've formatted them. They are in traditional footnoting, but your requirements may be different. So this is purely about spacing and the hanging indent. So thank you for watching, everyone, and happy writing. Good luck with everything. Bye.